The text message appeared in the family group chat at 3:47 p.m. on a Saturday. Great news, everyone. Taking deposits on Sarah's old lake house. Listed at $850,000. She stopped paying HOA dues years ago, so it's technically abandoned property. First come first served. House with garden money bag. My sister Ashley had attached photos of my lake house. The one I'd bought 5 years ago with my signing bonus from the engineering firm. The wraparound deck I'd designed myself. The dock where I kept my kayak. The master bedroom with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the water. My house. That I still owned. That I visited every month. I was standing in a grocery store checkout line in Denver when the message came through. The cashier was scanning my items while I stared at my phone, trying to process what I was reading. Ashley had listed my house for sale. Without asking me. Without my knowledge. And was apparently taking deposits. My mother had responded immediately. How wonderful. I've always thought that house was wasted on Sarah. She's never there anyway. Ashley, your father and I would love to buy it. We can discuss price tonight at dinner. My father, smart thinking, Ashley. That property is prime real estate. Sarah should have sold it years ago. My Aunt Carol, does Sarah know about this? Ashley, Sarah abandoned the property. Hasn't paid dues in at least 2 years. State law says if HOA dues go unpaid, the property can be reclaimed and sold. I'm just handling the practical side of things. She'll get whatever's left after fees and back taxes. I paid for my groceries in a daze and walked to my car. Then I called Ashley. She answered cheerfully. Sarah, did you see the group chat? I found a buyer for your lake house. Well, Mom and Dad want it, but there are 3 other families interested. We could start a bidding war. Ashley, that house isn't abandoned. I own it. And I'm current on all my dues. No, you're not. I checked with the HOA. They said you're delinquent. Who at the HOA told you that? I don't remember her name. Some woman in the office. She pulled up your account and confirmed you haven't paid in over 2 years. There's a lien on the property. That's impossible. I pay annual dues every January. I'm paid through 2027. Well, the HOA records say otherwise. Look, Sarah, you barely use that house. You're in Denver. It's just sitting empty most of the year. You should sell it and use the money for something practical. I'm not selling it. You might not have a choice. If you're delinquent on dues, the HOA can force a sale. I'm just trying to help you get ahead of it. Her voice took on that patronizing tone she'd perfected since childhood. Think of it this way, you'll get some money out of it instead of losing everything to liens and penalties. I'm not delinquent, Ashley. Someone gave you false information. Or you forgot to pay and don't want to admit it. Either way, I already have 3 families interested. The listing goes live Monday. I'd suggest cooperating instead of making this difficult. She hung up. I sat in my car in the grocery store parking lot and pulled up my bank records. There it was, January 15, 2024, payment to Lakeview Shores HOA, $1,200 annual dues. Same payment in January 2023, 2022, 2021, going back 5 years. I'd also paid a lump sum in 2022, $24,000 to cover dues through 2027. The HOA had been offering a discount for advance payments, and I'd taken advantage of it since I traveled frequently for work and didn't want to worry about missing a payment. I had receipts, confirmation emails, bank statements, everything documented. I called the Lakeview Shores HOA office. A woman answered on the 3rd ring. Lakeview Shores Homeowners Association, this is Brenda. Hi, this is Sarah Mitchell. I own 847 Lakeside Drive. I need to verify my account status. One moment. Keyboard clicking. Yes, Ms. Mitchell. Your account is current. You actually prepaid through December 2027. Is there something I can help you with? My sister called and was told I'm delinquent on dues and there's a lien on my property. Can you check if someone else accessed my account? More clicking. That's strange. I see a note here from 2 weeks ago. Someone called asking about your account status. We gave them the standard information, that we couldn't release account details without owner authorization. But there's a second note from 3 days ago saying someone came in person claiming to be you and requesting account information. What did they look like? Hold on, let me ask my colleague. She was working that day. A muffled conversation, then Brenda returned. She says a woman in her early 30s, blonde hair, said she was Sarah Mitchell and needed to verify her dues status for a refinance. My colleague didn't ask for ID since it seemed like routine information. That was my sister. She's been telling people I'm delinquent and listing my house for sale without my permission. Brenda's voice went sharp. Ms. Mitchell, if someone is fraudulently listing your property, you need to contact law enforcement immediately. We can provide documentation that your account is current and there's no lien. Would you like me to email that to you? Yes. Please. Immediately. At 5:23 p.m., I received an email from Brenda with account statements, payment receipts, and a letter on HOA letterhead confirming that 847 Lakeside Drive had 0 outstanding dues, no liens, and was paid in full through December 2027. I forwarded the email to the family group chat with a single message. My HOA account is current. I prepaid through 2027. Ashley has no authority to list my house. Any deposits taken are fraudulent. The group chat exploded. Ashley, that can't be right. The woman at the office told me you were delinquent. Me, you lied about being me to access my account. That's fraud. Ashley, I didn't lie. I said I was calling on your behalf. Me, Brenda says you came in person claiming to be me. My mother, girls, let's not fight about this. Sarah, if you're current on dues, that's wonderful. But you still never use that house. Why not sell it to family? We take good care of it. My father, Sarah's being unreasonable. That house is an investment sitting empty. She should liquidate and use the money productively. Me, it's my house. I'm not selling it. Ashley, fine. But I already told 3 families they could make offers. Now I look like an idiot. Thanks a lot, Sarah. Me, you made yourself look like an idiot by listing property you don't own. My Aunt Carol. Ashley, did you actually take deposits? Ashley, just one. $25,000 earnest money from Mom and Dad. The chat went silent. Then my mother, we can discuss this at Sunday dinner. I didn't respond. Instead, I called the real estate commission in Montana where my lake house was located. I filed a formal complaint against Ashley for attempting to list property without owner authorization. Then I called a real estate attorney named Patricia Mendez, whose name I found through a bar association referral. Ms. Mitchell, Patricia said after I'd explained the situation, your sister committed several potential crimes. Impersonating you to access HOA records is identity theft. Listing your property without authorization is fraud. Taking deposits on a sale she can't legally execute is theft by deception. You have multiple avenues for legal action. What do I do? First, I'll send a cease and desist letter to your sister demanding she remove any listings and return all deposits. Second, we document everything. The HOA impersonation, the fraudulent listing, the deposit she accepted. Third, if she doesn't comply immediately, we file criminal charges and a civil lawsuit for damages. She's my sister. She's also committing fraud against you. Family relationships don't excuse criminal behavior. Patricia sent the cease and desist letter that evening. Ashley called me at 9:47 p.m. furious. You sent me a legal threat? Are you insane? I'm your sister. You impersonated me, lied to my HOA, and listed my house for sale without permission. Then you took $25,000 from our parents for a property you don't own. What did you expect me to do? I expected you to be reasonable. That house just sits there. You visit maybe once a month for a weekend. It's a waste. It's my house. What I do with it is my business. You're being selfish. Mom and Dad want to retire to the lake. This was supposed to be their dream home. You're ruining everything because you're petty and spiteful. I'm protecting my property from theft. There's a difference. I'm returning their deposit tomorrow. Happy now? You've humiliated me in front of the entire family. Everyone thinks I'm a criminal because you couldn't just be generous for once in your life. Ashley, you committed fraud. The humiliation is self-inflicted. She hung up. Sunday dinner happened without me. I was already driving to Montana, a 9-hour drive I'd made dozens of times. I wanted to see my house, verify it was secure, and make sure Ashley hadn't done anything else without my knowledge. I arrived at 2:34 a.m., exhausted but relieved to see the house exactly as I'd left it. Locked, secure, undisturbed. At 9:15 a.m. I got a call from an unknown Montana number. A man's voice, older, authoritative. Ms. Mitchell? This is Gerald Hartman, president of the Lakeview Shores HOA board. Brenda informed me of the situation with your sister. I wanted to reach out personally and apologize. We've implemented new identity verification procedures to ensure this doesn't happen to any other homeowners. Thank you, Mr. Hartman. I also wanted you to know that I contacted the 3 families your sister approached about purchasing your property. I informed them the listing was fraudulent and that the property is not for sale. 2 of them were quite upset. Apparently your sister accepted preliminary deposits from them as well. My stomach dropped. She took deposits from strangers? $10,000 from the Hendersons and $15,000 from the Kolsky family. Both families are demanding refunds and threatening legal action. I thought you should know in case this escalates. After the call, I texted Patricia. Ashley took deposits from 2 other families. Total $25,000. She's defrauded 3 families for $50,000 total. Patricia called immediately. That changes everything. This isn't a family dispute anymore. This is a criminal enterprise. Your sister has defrauded multiple people. The district attorney needs to be involved. Over the next week, the situation unraveled completely. The Henderson family filed a police report for fraud. The Kolsky family hired an attorney and threatened a lawsuit. My parents demanded their $25,000 back, and Ashley claimed she'd already spent it on business expenses related to the listing. The Real Estate Commission opened an investigation. Ashley wasn't a licensed realtor. She'd been operating without credentials, which was illegal. The commission referred the case to the Montana Attorney General's office. Ashley called me 6 days after the cease and desist letter, her voice small and frightened. Sarah, I'm in trouble. Real trouble. The Attorney General's office wants to interview me about fraud charges. The families are suing. I don't have the money to pay them back. I thought this was going to be simple. List your house, make a commission, help mom and dad retire. Now my entire life is falling apart. You committed fraud, Ashley. You took $50,000 from people for property you don't own and can't sell. What did you think would happen? I thought you'd be reasonable. I thought you'd agree to sell once you realized there was interest. I was trying to do you a favor. By lying about me being delinquent? By impersonating me at the HOA? By taking deposits from multiple families. I made mistakes. But I'm your sister. Can't you help me? Talk to these families. Convince them to drop the charges, something? No. Sarah, please. I'm begging you. I'll lose everything. I could go to jail. Don't you care about that? I care that you committed fraud and are now facing consequences. But those consequences aren't my responsibility to fix. He started crying. You're heartless. Mom always said you were cold and she was right. I hope you're happy with your stupid lake house that you never even use. It cost me everything. You cost you everything. I just refused to let you steal from me. She hung up. The criminal charges were filed in October. 3 counts of fraud, 2 counts of theft by deception, 1 count of identity theft. Ashley pleaded not guilty initially, but her attorney eventually negotiated a plea deal. She pleaded guilty to 2 counts of fraud in exchange for probation, restitution to the victims, and mandatory financial counseling. No jail time but a permanent criminal record. The restitution order required her to repay $50,000 to the 3 families. She sold her car and moved in with our parents to make the payments. My parents blamed me. My mother sent an email 3 days after the sentencing. I hope you're satisfied. Your sister's life is ruined because you couldn't share. That house means nothing to you, but it meant everything to her future. You're selfish and cruel, just like you've always been. I didn't respond. My father called once, trying a different approach. Sarah, your sister made mistakes. But she's family. Can't you find it in your heart to forgive her? Help her pay the restitution? She's your sister. She committed fraud, Dad. She stole from multiple people. I'm not financing her criminal restitution. Then you're no daughter of mine. He hung up. We haven't spoken since. 3 years later, I'm sitting on my deck at the lake house, watching the sunset over water that's perfectly still. The house is exactly as I designed it. The dock holds my kayak. The master bedroom windows frame the view I bought this property to see. I come here once a month, sometimes twice. I work remotely from the deck in summer. I read by the fireplace in winter. I host friends who appreciate the quiet. It's not abandoned. It's not wasted. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. Ashley finished her restitution payments last year. We don't speak. She's blocked me on all social media and told mutual friends I destroyed her life over a house. My parents send occasional emails suggesting I make amends and be the bigger person. I delete them. Last month I prepaid the HOA dues through 2032. Another $30,000, another decade of security. The HOA president called personally to thank me and confirm the payment. That house of yours, he said, it's one of the best maintained properties in the community. Whoever suggested you'd abandoned it was seriously mistaken. They were, I agreed. I hung up and went back to my coffee, watching the morning light spread across the lake. This house is mine. I earned it. I maintain it. I love it. And no one, not my sister, not my parents, not anyone, will ever take it from me. Because I showed up for it. I paid for it. I protected it. And that's all that matters.